So.
You don't change either, Noah.
I don't plan on it. We're going into game number 2. ROX Tigers versus Afreeca Freaks. We'll see what the bans are this time. Rise. Banned out.
Yep, getting a rise out of the ROX Tigers.
Oh. Is it really, though? Do you think they really get excited like, oh, we're banning Rise? I think they are banned.
They banned at both sides, so I assume they do get excited. And there's the Poppy once again. So Corky was the last ban for the Tigers. They could just stick to that strategy. Fiora now going to be a mix-up, but I think ROX is just trying to get a first pick Alistair here.
Could be. It depends. Afreeca thinking a lot about the second ban. And this could lead to a GP getting through.
Well, they are going to ban the Quinn, so GP and Alistair were their other 2 bans in game 1. They won't have that luxury this time. They are actually going to ban the Alistair. That is really surprising with the emphasis, but now they just want Kalista because GP, Lulu, or Kalista, 2 of those are getting through. And they're not probably going to pick the Lulu because they were able to out-team fight the Freaks last game, even though the Freaks had Lulu. So this should be a Kalista, I would assume.
I mean, we could see the Lulu pick.
Or Corky.
Oh, yeah,
Corky is available. So.
Corky was banned last game, yeah. All right, so Corky probably going to Kuro, but we'll see. Prey could take the 2. And so some strong picks left up for the Afreeca Freaks, and Lear's just going to take that Nidalee away.
So
I don't know how well that's going to work out.
Kalista and Italy. This is actually the same red side draft that we saw from the Tigers in the last game.
Yeah.
But Lulu is still up. There's a lot of power picks making it through the draft here.
ROX Tigers like, oh, we shouldn't have picked Corky because we could have just picked their team and then beaten them with their own team comp from the game before.
That's how you truly style on someone.
We've seen it before.
We have seen it. It's great.
Before, yeah.
I love it when that happens.
And Lulu will be the lock-in, pretty unsurprisingly there. And Braum is actually going to go over to Gorilla.
Yeah, Braum, a champion that we haven't seen a lot of in Korea. It has been used more substantially, I would say, in other regions, but
blocks spears pretty well, though, I've heard.
It's pretty good at blocking spears, and it's also been historically one of Gorilla's most picked champions.
Yeah. Okay. Thresh for Snowflower would be perfectly fine.
Yeah, definitely a comfort pick for him. Just taking a look at the Braum record here. Gorilla's 10-6 on Braum all time. Really nice win rate there.
Pretty good. And do you want to take, I suppose now, I mean, things like Ezreal are kind of taken off the table by having that Braum on the other side too.
Yeah, and I think that's smart because now when they take the Braum away, the ROX Tigers can still use the Braum for disengage, but they're setting up a poke comp, and Mickey is going to get his Twisted Fate. One thing that we didn't even mention, though, in this series is that there haven't been any Zed or TF bans against Mickey for probably the first time this season.
That's a good point, yeah. Every other series against the Afreeca Freaks teams have been really worried about giving Mickey that Zed or the Twisted Fate. And
they've let the TF through, but no one has let the Zed through. However, apparently that is not a concern of the Tigers, and they're not even going to pick it here. So this, I'm hoping that this sets the stage for no more Zed bans, so we actually get to see Mickey play Zed at some point.
Yeah, but would it be good right now? Do you think so?
Wow, this could be actually a top lane Lulu. Smeb does like to flex it into the top lane, so we could be seeing a triple 80 carry composition.
Oh, it will.
Okay, this is bold because they don't have a tank, and with the TF, if Mickey plays TF as an initiator, they can actually get into the back line, and Braum is only going to be able to disengage in one direction. But the problem is the last time Mickey played TF, he built for split pushing even though he took Ignite. And that was really a big problem because he never got the chance to engage on the poke composition. He's got to get an earlier Zonio's Hourglass in this game, and I also like the fact that he's taking TP. Now Mickey has had some really bad TPs in the past, but I think they just need to double down on the opportunity to engage onto the ROX Tigers.
Well, a big tank would certainly serve the team well. Gnar fits the bill, and again, if you get any good Gnar ults off, it's going to be really hard for the ROX Tigers to stay alive. That is a fragile team.
Yeah, Ixu always been a Gnar player, and they needed some way to lock them down. but their primary form of engage here is going to be a TF ult gold card Zhonya's, because Gnar is more of a follow-up. They can also create a pick with the Thresh Hook maybe, but the Tigers had a clever draft. They took the Braum away early, and that was mostly just a denial pick so that they didn't have to deal with it on the enemy team when they wanted to go for this massive poke composition that they're choosing to run, because a Braum would be disastrous against what they're doing. So they take it away, but it introduces a new wrinkle, a new problem into their own composition, because now Mickey becomes really strong. The Twisted Fate could definitely win this game for Afreeca.
So you think it's all about poking that mid lane turret then, trying to take that out as fast as they can to keep Mickey down?
Yeah, but it's about the engage for Twisted Fate, because it's not going to be about the ganks from TF. It's about the late and the mid and late game engage where he can just disrupt the backline enough for Ixu to get in there and follow up with a Gnar ulti. So that's going to be the thing to look for here, because catching them while they're overextending down the lane, even if that mid turret goes down early, when they start to set up for tier 2 sieges, that's when it's really going to be a danger, because an Ixu, a Gnar teleport, and a Mickey ult could really absolutely devastate this tankless composition.
Makes sense. We'll see if the ROX Tigers can make it work. Time to get into game number 2 and find out. Here we are once again on Summoner's Rift. ROX Tigers looking to close out a 2-0 against the Afreeca Freaks, but they haven't exactly made it easy on themselves, picking a interesting poke comp to try to do the job, and if it works, it'll be a short game. If it doesn't work, it could be a long and arduous ordeal, couldn't it?
Maybe. It could also be very fast for Afreeca, because they only really need one good team fight to take a Baron and then just smash the Tigers, because the Tigers are not going to be very good at resisting dives. And this is an interesting stack that is going on here. Only Peanuts showing that the trap.
I like it. Getting cheesy.
They are going to 5-man invade on this side, and they're going to find Lyra. Lyra has to pants out. So
it's a pants out?
Pounce out.
Pounce out.
Pounce out.
Is that a pants out? Get a pants out of that gank.
Getting my interesting accents on tonight.
I guess. Monty's true accent comes through.
I've been hiding it for so long.
He was born in the deep south. There's there. Yep, I thought so. I kept your secret for years, but I can't do it anymore.
I guess I'm going to have to go back to the bayou in Louisiana after this.
Cook up some crawdads. Sounds delicious.
Crawdads are delicious.
Actually, they are. That's true. I've had those myself, yes.
Louisiana food, Cajun cuisine, some of the best.
And eat shellfish. I'm not eating a lot of solid food these days, but when I get back there, maybe someday I'll add that.
You've reverted to your infantile state now? No solid food for Doa?
There's a lot of soup.
Just put the crawdads in a blender. We're good to go.
Ugh. Leave the shell on so you have more calcium, I suppose. Cooking with Chef Doa. The name of a show that will never, ever happen.
The blended crawdad.
Crawdad smoothie. Just add a little bit of ice cream and avocado in there.
Delicious.
It's so good for you. It is the breakfast of champions. Gorilla lands a Q on the Snowflower in exchange for the hook attempt. The bot lane has begun.
It has. It has begun.
And it continues. Thrill a minute, this bot lane.
I know. Well, Snowflower and Zanyu getting the early level 2 in both of the games so far.
Yeah. I mean, they've played well in the laning phase, certainly, and it hasn't been, you know, we've said this all night, but it hasn't been the early game that's been the problem for the Afreeca Freaks. It's been after about 20, 25 minutes where things start to kind of fall apart. Maybe look at that early Rift Scuttler. Do you think we might see an early Dragon too? No, I guess not.
No, just fading up at the top side. They can't really do anything right now. The Tigers have successfully frozen this. And so waiting, slowly moving down on those minions, but it is going to reverse now that the minion wave reaches the caster minions. Actually, look at what Gorilla and Prey are doing right there. They're actually body blocking their own minions to prevent the wave from moving quite as quickly. It's still going to move because they have more caster minions on their side, but they're trying to get and play back underneath their turret as much as they possibly can.
Yeah, the minions are complaining to Rito about, oh, this champion block is so annoying. We're just trying to walk down the lanes, and these champions are stopping us.
Our purpose is to kill the minions, the red minions, but man, can't even get there.
Rito, please.
Brahm's hitbox is too big.
Champ block is real. The minions are getting champ blocked. Oh, Lyra is getting a deep ward in. Something you don't see very often from Peanut. But then again, Lyra did go for the tracking knife. Tracker's knife.
I mean, you don't see it very often from Lyra. Lyra is actually the second worst jungler in the league when it comes to wards per minute. But even then, he puts down more than 0.2 more wards per minute than Peanut does. Peanut?
Yeah.
He is addicted to the red smite.
Can't blame him. I mean, wards are great and all,
but blowing people up in a duel, that's way more satisfying.
Exactly, exactly. We've said it before. You don't need to know where they are if you know they're dead. Solves the vision problem completely.
Yeah, I can see on that they're on a countdown from being dead. Yeah. So
they're not in the game right now.
It's
Therefore,
the clearest
they are
way.
not anywhere.
I don't need a ward to see that. I can just press tab.
Yeah. And tab doesn't cost you anything. Yet, anyway. I don't know about these microtransaction games.
5 gold to press tab.
Would you like to peek at the enemy's build? Uh-oh. Let's gank up a top lane. Ixu in a little bit of trouble. Peanut walking in. Teleport happens. Smeb a little bit low, and that one doesn't work out as well as I think they had hoped it would have.
Well, they get Mickey's TP, so that's going to be nice if they poke him out. But Lyra's here, and, well, that spear isn't going anywhere. That gold card is, though.
Kuro, a little bit of trouble. Has to use that cleanse right away, turning off some damage onto Lyra. Lyra, though, wow, just wants to get hit with the Gatling gun, I guess.
Well, he was seeing if he could get maybe another pounce off there, but Kuro deciding to back off.
Well, that'd be, yeah, I suppose, but...
Hi, Peanut.
Uh-oh, Peanut. He's going to get his wish. Oh, hey. Yeah. Oh, see, you should have built all AP. That gas canister would have killed him. Peanut's just having a great time, though. That's the best thing about this team, is that whenever you see the booth, these guys are always having a good time no matter what.
It's like, you see how I blew his flash? Yeah. He didn't expect me to be there, even though he knew I was just topside.
He was too busy trying to kill Kuro. You know, but really... Kuro did a good job of going back in and, keeping Mickey there to give Peanut time to get in position when you think about it.
Yeah. Absolutely true. Prey and Gorilla have lost a few of these minions to the turret so far. Having some issues in that laning phase. Ixu now goes for the all-in. Did use his Gnar before turning back into mini form, so it is just an old-for-old trade.
Yep.
And cooldown boots first for Mickey, so... trying to maximize that uptime right now, and
that grabs the Frost Fang too, so working towards that Frost Queen's claim. We still don't know what she's claiming.
She's claiming that you are slowed.
I guess so.
Uh-oh.
Peanut. Well, he's like, yes, thanks for coming to me.
Yeah, he should know that Snowflower's there. Yeah, he's not going to do anything too silly. Just pull his Raptors right back into the brush, and it'll pop his buff immediately.
It just softened up the Raptors for him. Which, if I'm going to fight Raptors, I'd prefer somebody soften them up for me.
Just hit him with a meat tenderizer a few times.
Yep. That's right. Raptors are pretty tough otherwise.
I don't know. I've never eaten eagle, so I really wouldn't know how tough Raptor is.
Well, I don't think those are exactly eagles.
Well, they are feathered, so they're like eagles or falcons. They fall into the class of raptor.
I suppose.
Are they predatory birds? Yes.
I don't think they could really predate on anything. Oh, Kuro with a lot of damage onto Mickey. Here comes Smeb. Tried to make a gank out of it, but Mickey responded with the gold card just in time.
I wonder if ostriches are counted as raptors.
I have no idea.
And actually, those raptors do a lot of damage, though.
What do I look like, an ornithologist? I'm a caster Monte Cristo, not an ornithologist.
Thanks, Bones.
was saying I needed more Star Trek references, so there you go. Mickey in a lot of trouble here. He may actually go down. Another rocket. And Kuro flashes for it. Lear there with the spear. Nice dodge from Kuro. Doesn't save it. But Peanut's like, yeah, well, they call it collateral damage for a reason. Thanks, Kuro.
Kuro all in right there. Mickey had no flash from that last gank attempt, so makes it easy for the all in. Lyra there to mop it up, but Peanut's the one at the end who ends up with a double buff refresh.
Getting that kill on the Graves early on is really nice, too. This is just a perfect meta for Peanut, too. Graves, Kindred, Nidalee.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if the Tigers can really compete after a major meta change, because the Cinderhulk meta really threw them for a loop last year.
Yeah.
And if Peanut has to play more utility junglers where he can't just go balls to the wall, it may be a problem for them, because in the meta we saw last year, Peanut actually really did struggle.
Well, good for the moment anyway.
Unquestionably. But ROX here, they're not actually getting so much damage down on the turrets, and here comes a package gank.
Yeah. Kuro. Package at the ready. Oh, it's going to go back to mid lane, though. Gets seen by a ward, too, so no real mystery as to where he's at.
Okay, well, they try and motion for a dive in top, but here we go.
It's all right, Mickey coming in for the TP, or for the ult rather. Smeb gets it with the gold card. Whoa! That was not something you can get out of. Peanut trying to get a little bit of revenge, but it's too late.
Peanut's revenge. Not much in this case, but you could see what Smeb was trying to do right there. He was trying to position himself to wild growth himself as soon as Mickey came in from his ultimate, but unfortunately he couldn't get there in time, and a great follow-up from Ixu. So another well-planned gank, and Afreeca's early game plan continues to look strong. They play well with each other and around their abilities on the map, so that means that Mickey has gotten rolling now. First gank, definitely a success, but they're only 700 gold up.
Yep.
Thanks to their pretty unfortunate trade in the mid lane.
And, you know, we saw them have a lead in game number 1 as well, and it didn't end up helping them in the end. But there's no Smeb on Fiora this time around to bail them out. This time it's a little bit different.
Well, but it's about Afreeca's ability to execute these late game team fights, and you know, Doa, they just couldn't do it in the last game. They have to actually flank with the Gnar and with the TF here.
Hello, wow, Kuro going in with the package. Nope, just with the Valkyrie. Just pushing Mickey out of lane. He's managed to get a little bit of a CS lead, and not too surprising with Mickey leaving lane for that gank earlier.
Yeah, not much damage down on the turret. Mickey has done a good job of balancing his time in lane and his wave clear against that gank in the top side, so it hasn't resulted in too much yet.
Yep, that's right. Fight down at bot. It's 3v2 against ROX Tigers. Gorilla uses his ult. Here comes the teleport, though. Coming in from both sides. Bray turns around, gets lit up as well. That's a double kill for Songyun. Smeb comes in, but there's not much a Lulu can do in a 1v5. And Peanut on his own.
Well, that was a TP that should have been canceled by Smeb. There were 2 TPs coming in right behind everybody from Mickey and Ixu. And that was just definitely not going to go the way of the Tigers, and they actually give up an extra kill. They could have traded a top turret for that. Instead, Afreeca now with a big advantage, and they're going to take it straight into the first dragon of the game.
Yeah. And it hasn't been the strongest day early on for the ROX Tigers.
I mean,
This is ugly.
Yeah, great engage, but it started as a 3v2, and it turns into a 5v3. I mean, 4-man ult, good job, Smeb, but there's way too much damage there. And burst at the end. They couldn't get Graves down into the bottom lane fast enough, so now 2,000 gold will be the advantage to Afreeca.
Yeah. I think they were just kind of hoping Prey could hold out until Smeb could get there, but didn't work out.
Tigers looking a bit lazy. They definitely had those teleport timers available, and in both of the games, Afreeca has been actually playing around the teleports very well, and Mickey, who has had some very poor teleports earlier in this season, including just showing up and dying immediately as Victor, kind of like feeding kills with TP a lot of the time. On this TF, even when he hasn't used his ult, that TP was very good.
Yeah.
Even his teammates were actually mentioning it in the interviews, how bad his TPs were. So your teammates are sitting there in an interview saying, yeah, we won, but man, Mickey doesn't know how to use TP. You know it's bad.
Well, he's been working on it.
Nar too, he going for the X drinker, and so just trying to.
Well, speaking of TPs, and Smeb thrown against the wall again, trying to get back into turret. Ixu taking a lot of damage. Mickey takes that turret aggro, and that's going to end up being a clean gank.
Oh!
Wow, Mickey had to flash. Yeah, got out of that collateral damage. Not bad. Might have been a kill for me.
But still, there again, they spent this entire series preying on Smeb so far. Ixu really delivering on this Nar, building for the magic resist and the damage early.
Yep. And it's a pretty solid gold lead now for the Afreeca Freaks. Ixu under turret, taken out by Peanut. Never mind.
Wow.
Peanut
Bold
takes matters
play.
into his own hands.
He's like, I know you don't have flash.
Yep.
Comes in and grabs a kill on the back end of that gank, and with that TP, there's now 3 people in the mid lane, and they're just going to zone them off the turret and bust this down with the help of Lucian and Corky. So there we go.
Yeah.
But again, Mickey, he's going for the Lich Bane first. This is what he did in the last game that he played Twisted Fate, and it just didn't work. Now, at least this game, unlike last game, he is taking Teleport instead of Ignite, so he can actually split push at any point in the map and still be a split pushing threat. But
collapse on the Snowfire and Songyun. Box used. Gorilla doesn't want to go around it. They're happy just to keep that turret alive for now.
Yeah, doesn't want to use the Glacial Fissure. There's not a follow-up there. Happy enough to get the box out of their opponent.
Yep.
So they got 2 towers now. 2 towers to none in favor of the Tigers, and that has allowed them to even up the gold score of this game.
And that may be what the ROX Tigers need to start that comeback.
Ixu's a bit worrisome. He's actually not built for team fights right now. He's built for split pushing. So it comes down to how we see the Afreeca Freaks sort of distribute these lanes, because they could set up for a 1-3-1, but it's a little fast considering that Songyun doesn't have the Hurricane yet for the wave clear that he actually needs in order to apply the split push pressure in the mid lane. And now, some more Warcling right here. But Afreeca obviously very nervous about pushing up too far. They do have the teleport advantage for the time being.
Yeah, and you can sort of feel the momentum change a little bit, I feel like, in that last little engage. It seems like all the aggression from the Afreeca Freaks has slowed down a little bit.
Well, they have
and we're at that pivotal point now, you know?
They have to keep making plays. Now, they have some good wards deep in this bottom side to try and dive this turret and maybe take their first tower of the game. Looks like they're not going to need to. It's getting pretty close. Lyra's here, does sweep out the ward, but he is seen.
Mickey's not close enough to try any sort of dive either.
You see Kuro just threatening the bottom side right now, very aware that the double TP could come in, especially since Ixu just hit that Mega Gnar form in the top lane, and they're pushing it up. They are hyper aware now of the teleport options.
Oh, package attack. Hello. Mickey against the wall in a lot of trouble here. Kuro has to run, and somehow, some way, Lyra comes up with a kill. Peanut brawling 1v2, and here comes Smeb, and with that shield, they'll be able to force him back, but Kuro got a little bit too excited with his package there. Hey man, I'm just saying what happened, that's all. I'm just saying what happened. Glacial Fissure used. Songyun's going to toss Snowfire to safety, who will then lantern him to safety. Call that the safety dance.
Well,
I'm just using the ability names that Riot has given me.
They did name it that.
They did. Oh, and the culling should push Lyra back for the moment anyway. Here comes Mickey though from the side. He's gotten his health back again. Flash play onto Prey. Prey backs away. Kuro gets in the middle, blocks a lot of damage from coming into ROX Tigers. Still in the disengage. Peanut comes in with a big damage though. To get that one, he may get taken out. Yep, that gold card should do it.
Ixu came back at exactly the right time.
Yep.
To make that play happen, and Peanut there, he's like, I should have dashed into 4 of them.
He's like, man, I just wanted to put that Mauve Malmortius. I just finished a good use.
He did actually put it to very good use against the majority magic damage, of course, coming from Italy, and the Twisted Fate. He does have some decent heal there while the shield proc goes off to continue fighting in that front line. I think he did play that right, but look at the package right here.
I will.
And he tries to get it down, but it's really Lyra. So Kuro flashes out, and look, Lyra flashes to block the rocket. That's just a great play there, and gets up the kill at the same time, and they narrowly don't kill the Gnar in the end, and just gonna keep over-committing to this mid lane right now. Now they see this on the side, they want to go for it, flash ultimate, but you can't flash ult when Fate's Call is up, so a mistake there from Gorilla. No point really in committing to that.
Yep. And Lyra going for this dragon right now. We'll see if ROX Tigers can stop them.
He's going to try and ult it, probably.
Yep. Walking in, he's like, it's mine. Oh, he didn't quite get it. Peanut gets got, though. Goodbye.
He does
Meanwhile,
die.
the Rift Herald ends it all. He's just done with this game.
Well, this is a very good position now. Afreeca Freaks fighting back. We got a sloppy game here from the Tigers.
Really sloppy. Yeah, not so happy about that one, huh, Peanut? Oh, meanwhile, Ixu, he's pretty tanky, though. That's Meganar, man. Nice two-man ult. Prey, though, not quite caught in all the CC. They will get the kill on the Braum, though. Smeb is going to be next. And I don't know if ROX Tigers can actually come back and win this one.
Well,
it's possible, but
they're not getting the siege, and that's the kind of engage they need from the Twisted Fate, just constantly disrupting that backline. They're playing a composition with no tanks, and this is what you get if you don't group and siege properly and get the wards in. Instead, they're trying to take fights like they could actually brawl it out here, and even though Ixu is actually not that tanky with just a Hex Drinker and a Sterix Gauge, more of a damage-oriented build overall, he's still able to get that big CC, and Smeb didn't have a chance to use his ult there. He was just chained one CC into the next.
Yep. Well, it's going to be interesting to see if the ROX Tigers can pull this one off.
I think Doha, in the end, they're still so good at team fighting that once they wake up and actually play to their win conditions, that they're going to be in a much better place. But the thing about the Tigers is, one, the poke or siege compositions, when you get the outer ring of turrets down, they take a lot of warding. And the ROX Tigers ward less than any team in the league, and they clear fewer wards as well. So there probably will be a lot of vision left over for the Freaks to work around when it comes to flanks with TP, or even Mickey making safe teleport options with his ultimate. And of course, if he pops that Destiny, he'll be able to see everybody anyway.
Yep. Very good point.
I feel like if you're going to run this kind of composition, and you...
Oh, they caught Snowflower there. Can they get the win? He's going to try to hook in. There's Fate's Call, thrown back into Peanut. Peanut in trouble. Mickey coming in with that Fate's, or with that Destiny, rather. Easy kill onto Peanut.
Why do they keep using ultimates against the Thresh when Fate's Call is up?
It is odd, isn't it?
They're way overcommitting to killing this Thresh when it's all too easy for Sangyu just to rip him back in.
Well, they need a bit more damage to blow somebody up that quickly, you know? Maybe they thought Snowflower, or maybe they thought Sangyu rather wasn't there. But they're going to lose a mid lane turret for it. At some point.
Ever so slowly, perhaps.
And ROX Tigers trying to just defend this as best they can. They're doing a pretty good job of it, too. Peanut's back. So Ixu just retreating to the top lane for a bit more split pushing.
Why not? He's been really delivering this series against Smeb. Had that lead in the last game. Now Smeb 0-4-1 in game number 2. So really struggling with this top lane Lulu.
Yeah, just not a lot of damage at all.
And they took this away. There are, of course, a lot of other top lane picks that they could have had that would have formed a more robust front line for their poke composition. And Tom Kench was 100% available in this game. They wanted to take the Lulu away, but they instead were met with the Twisted Fate, which should be pretty predictable from Mickey.
Yeah, it seems like, too, the Braum just isn't doing a whole lot when it's all said and done. I mean, We know why they took it, but it just hasn't made a big impact yet.
Well, Braum is only good when you're trying to disengage from people running straight at you, because his ult can only be used in a line in one direction. So if you don't have that, Stoa, and somebody comes in from the flank, you're not doing much on Braum, realistically.
Here we go. Package comes in. Nixu with the flash right away. And so they get the summoner out at least.
That's actually really useful for a follow-up engage, but now Mickey's going to start split pushing. He's got that Lich Bane, so he's going to be melting through these turrets. Oh, he forces a TP. That is huge.
Wow. Now the Tiger's not ready to use that turret. Meanwhile, Prey caught on his own flashes before the gold card connects. Nice spear from Lyra. That nearly was enough right there.
Well, easy to hit spears when you have a gold card there to immobilize somebody, and Prey a little bit late on the flash, so the gold card traveled along with him after that gate came in, but it was perfect. Nice zone there from Mickey to set up for just to secure the turret. That's all you need to do.
Yep. Pretty much. So now what do the Afreeca Freaks do? I think they may be kind of wondering the same thing.
No, just take top turret, and then they start choking out vision control over Baron.
Oh, flash flay onto Gorilla. Gorilla has to burn his summoner to get out.
Yeah.
Not a flash flay, rather. It was Fate's call into flay, my bad.
Yep. So just gets thrown in there, and they get an excellent trade. Now they can just push up that lane, and Mickey takes some damage. There's no follow-up, though.
Well, that gold card enough of a threat right now to keep the ROX Tigers at bay. This might be a chance to clear out some vision around Baron, though.
Yeah, as much as they can. There's still quite a few wards. They're going to get a few. Tigers still just unable to break down any more towers than they had in the early game. They were leading 2 towers to none, and now they're down a turret. Gotta look towards that bottom side, but the siege composition, there's just too many angles of attack for Afreeca, and they drafted a good composition against this. It's going to be hard right from pick and ban, but now it's even harder that the Tigers are trying to play with the siege comp from significant 6,000 gold deficit.
Yeah. Looks like it's going to be Dragon number 3 for the Afreeca Freaks.
That's huge. Dragon number 3 already, 26 minutes into the game, so before 40 they'll have their chance for a 5th Dragon stack. That'll be absolutely devastating against the squishy composition of the Tigers.
Yep. And now they've got Smeb trying to do some sort of counter pushing. He's got his Lich Bane, got another needlessly large rod, so he's got a little bit more damage now, but
they have no answer to the 1-3-1 split push.
Yeah, it's still not looking good.
Lulu not realistically going to be the most potent pickup here. And considering that just so far behind, it's great here. Try and set up for the push again.
A lot of damage on the Sanyu, but just gets healed up so fast.
Mickey back in the bottom side right now. He nearly took out that turret earlier. He's probably going to get it on this wave.
He should. Don't really see anything stopping him, but the ROX Tigers are going to try to bring him up to the mid lane with this push.
Well, what they're going to do is probably get themselves flanked and killed, actually. I mean, Afreeca just killed him right now.
Well, we'll see if they try. It looks like Mickey's more interested in trying to push that inhibitor turret, and the Tigers will get one.
Terrible trade for the Tigers, clearly.
Yeah.
Ixu going to work away on the... Wow, Mickey might just get an inhibitor for free. Never mind.
Yeah,
He had a huge wave there. I didn't realize that, so that's a pretty simple kill on an objective, and the Tigers just run around the map.
Man. Meanwhile, the top tier 2
they're
getting
still
hammered
gonna
away
try
by Ixu.
He's going to TP actually over to the Baron pit, so they're going to try and Baron immediately after this inhibitor.
Okay, they're going for it. ROX Tigers need to stop this. Disengage immediately.
They should just keep trying to Baron. Just sit here. The Freaks, yes, they have a lot of gold in the bank from that push, but they need to just sit here because the minion wave is still in the base of the Tigers, and they have to deal with that. They also don't have TP on the Smeb, so this should be an easy Baron.
Yeah, it doesn't look like the ROX Tigers can really stop it. Although, they do have to pull off. Gorilla goes in a little bit early, throws down the ult. Peanut from the side, a little bit of damage, a lot of damage. Braum still goes down, and first kill comes in already for the Afreeca Freaks to get 2. Prey can't do anything, and there is just nothing the ROX Tigers can do, I think, to win this game. Double kill comes in. Smeb has to flash out of that, and the Afreeca Freaks can just walk right into the base. I think this is it.
Yeah, Mickey's just going to run straight for the Nexus turrets, dodging between the Tier 2 and Inhibitor turrets in the middle lane.
Yeah, why stop? The Super Minion waves are coming in now, and Smeb can't defend this 1v5.
Nope, absolutely not. The death timers are still relatively short, but they'll be long enough for a 5-man push to take game number 2.
Yep, that's right. And so, a lazy game from the ROX Tigers, and it's going to cost them big as Afreeca Freaks cause the ROX Tigers to get their 3rd game loss of the entire season. GG.
Well, nicely played.